everyone. In today's baking session, we are taking on the challenge of making Linzer cookies. While I won't deny that they require a little bit of patience and probably are not the easiest cookie to make, the end results are so worth it. Now, I am Amy from A Red Spatula, and if you have felt intimidated by the idea of making Linzer cookies, let me walk you through this process step by step. You will be a pro in no time. Now, don't forget, of course, to hit that subscribe button. You don't want to miss any of these new videos that are coming out. Okay, so you know that I love to use whole wheat flour in my cookies. This is a whole wheat pastry flour. It's a lower protein flour. It's perfect for cookies because it still helps them to be soft. And then all-purpose flour, and then this last one, of course, is the almond flour. To that, you add just a little bit of salt, mix this all together, and you're going to set this aside. Mixing these ahead of time, it just helps to save time once you start putting together your cookies. Now, to your softened butter, you're going to add brown sugar. You can also use granulated sugar. I know that that's more typical, but I love the flavor of brown sugar in Linzer cookies. It kind of gives it a depth of flavor. Once that's mixed together, you're going to add in the egg, the vanilla, and the almond extract. Once the egg is added, you don't want to mix this for very long, just until it barely comes together. It takes maybe, 10, 15, 20 seconds. Last, we're going to add in our flour and mix that all together. It looks a tiny bit crumbly here, but I promise you it's super moist. And then once you make your cookie dough, you're going to want to put it onto plastic wrap it up, put it in the fridge, and let it chill for at least an hour. This dough needs to rest before you start rolling it out. Now, once the cookie dough is chilled, this is where we're going to start rolling it. Now, I do recommend that you buy a Linzer cookie cutter. I know that they're a little bit expensive, but they're well worth it. This is what it looks like. I have two different sizes. I have a larger one and then a smaller one, which I prefer to use. The larger one is 3.5 inches and it's really big. They have the fluted edges on it. You can see I pushed on the back. That's what is going to extract the cookie. Now, you can use any of the inserts that you want. I love the hearts. I use them almost all the time. You just slide that into the little grooves that are there, and then when you cut the tops of your cookies, it will just push it right out. So I'm going to show you how I do mine. I roll out my cookies to a little thicker than 1/8 of an inch. I like to cut out my bottoms first. You can do this, of course, any way that you want. Once the bottoms are going to cut, and you can see also in this recipe that some of my chunks of brown sugar didn't get mixed in all the way. That was totally fine. They tasted great. So here I am. I'm cutting the tops for the cookies, and you can see this cookie cutter is so cool. It just cuts the center right out. It's so easy to do. Once they're cut, we're going to get them right in the oven, and you only want to bake these until they're just golden brown, just right on the edges, and then let them cool. Fill them with your jam or preserves, whatever you're using. And then they're done. They're ready to serve. I think these cookies are such showstoppers. They're beautiful, absolutely beautiful. And then, now of course this is optional, but I love to sprinkle the tops of mine with powdered sugar. You can do this like I did at the very end, or when you have your tops and your bottom separated before you put them together, you can also sprinkle the tops with the powdered sugar. You might notice that the powdered sugar is in the jam, and that might freak you out, but it doesn't melt in there. I don't know what it's called, but it disappears right into the jam after just a second or two because of the moisture. And that's it. These cookies are done. They're ready to serve. They are so pretty and they taste so good. Now, don't forget, I would love to hear from you if you try this. Drop that in the comment section. And of course, don't forget to subscribe.